Hear ye. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Barz and Shotz, the podcast, episode 147. You got myself, Flaw 700, and you got Jarrell. What's going on?
What up, man? What up, man? Dynamic duo today, fam.
Let me tell the listeners something, fam. Podcasting is very fun, man. But this episode went from one thing to another.
Yes.
We was actually supposed to have wild guests on, talk about Juice, the anniversary, to that not happening, then to other situations happening. So we got Jarrell and myself on the podcast, episode 147. What's going on? How's your mental health?
Everything is all good, man. I took Friday off so I could have a nice little 4-day weekend. You know what I'm saying? Me and the wife have just been chilling all weekend. Watching y'all play the Eagles right now.
Yeah.
So how you feeling? How's your mental health? Because your team is playing in the playoffs currently, right as we speak. So, what's up?
Yeah.
How much attention are you going to pay to this pod?
I got a lot on the line, honestly.
Okay.
A partner of mine is when you a Philly fan, you're a Philly fan. Just so happens that my two teams played Philadelphia twice. The Miami Heat played the Sixers last night,
right?
And the Bucks are playing the Eagles. So we bet on both of them games, and I'm down one. So I need this victory for more reasons than one, because it's basically evens out. You know, if the Bucks win tonight, I don't owe nobody anything. But if the Bucks lose, and only are we dethroned as the champions.
I'm about to say this has a lot more, riding on this game than that basketball game, though.
I know, but we the champs. But you know what, though?
Oh, they just hit Tom late. Yeah. Look, he tried to help him out because he already knew.
My thing is, though, like, as being the world champions, I don't think we got the fanfare other teams would have got. So it's not like,
I mean, y'all the Bucks, man.
Yeah, it's the Bucks. It's just like.
And, Brady was like a hired gun, came in there, turned everything around the first year. So a lot of people hated on y'all just for that.
Yeah, it's just hate. It reminds me of the Miami Heat when LeBron came. It's like they care, but it's just like,
right.
It's no
like
flowers.
Like y'all wasn't supposed to have Brady, man. Like y'all quarterback was who? Like who's Mike Glennon? And now he on the Giants stinking up the joint. He trash, man. So yeah, so.
All right. Shout out to Roland in the chat.
Shout out to Roland, man.
Let's get into it, man. Crazy Man is in the news again.
See, don't call him that.
No.
Don't call him crazy, man. He is still an African American man. You cannot sit there and call that man crazy.
I don't like him using African American problems to further. I don't like him using us, fam.
What you mean?
He's using us. He is using us as tools to, like he's out here wilding. He's out here wilding. If you don't know, we talking about Mr. Kanye West, aka Ye. So this last 2 weeks, I would say I've been watching who he's been hanging out with. Watching.
It's starting out nasty, fam. I'm let you know right now. We tell you you hate every week. This starting out nasty.
First off, as Gemini men that Kanye West and I are, we have the right to change our mind. We do.
You got a right to, you talk about you watched them for the last 2 weeks, man. That's a little.
Well, I'm just on the socials. If he
Okay.
pops up, if he pops up,
Yeah,
while
you're right. That's his fault, right?
it's his
right,
fault.
right, right. That's his
Listen,
fault.
ladies and
I got
gentlemen,
you.
let me clarify this. Now, one time that I Googled this man. But if
That's
I'm
all I'm saying. It sounded a little nasty
sound
at first. You
crazy,
was like, last 2 weeks I've been watching who you been with. Like,
well, if you Kanye West, you already know what it is. When he comes outside, the world stops and everybody pays attention to him. It's what it is. He's
yeah,
one
that's
of
true.
them people. That's like we'll talk about it later, but I showed you a screenshot of what JayZ said. When JayZ tweets, the world stops. Read that tweet because you're not going to see
Right,
it.
right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? So when some people come out to play, the world stops and you can't help but be swooned in by what's happening. Because like I said, I think he's using African American problems. But let's talk about it though. What we didn't talk about was the Drake and Kanye concert. He went on his remix of Runaway Love and begged Kim to come back.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
We never touched on that. It is what it is.
I think we did a little bit.
Maybe we did, but it is what it is. Men beg their girl to come back all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't think nothing of it.
It makes
I
sense.
wouldn't have done it. Not like that.
Well, I mean, you might have. I don't know. It all depends. Like, you gotta think this is Kanye West, so it has to be like some type of grand gesture. Like, you weren't just gonna tweet out, "Please come back, fam." This is Kanye West. Like, they're too big for that.
Look where we at though. Why can't he just call her? I'm not tweeting.
Because their whole think about who we're talking about. Their whole life is like
It's a
that.
show. It's a show.
Yeah, like so it makes sense for him to say that during that concert that had nothing to do with them.
Or in the era of, if you don't say it on social media, it didn't exist.
Right. Like he could obviously he's called her and texted her and stuff like that. They exchanged numbers and everything. So
Yeah.
you know, he can get in contact with the mother of his kids if he
That's
wants to.
nasty though, fam. If you don't say it on the internet, it does not exist.
Right. But
Tell-
they have to
yeah.
it's their fault that they have to do that, but you know, it is what it is. If
Mhm.
it's not on social media, if they don't say it publicly, people are just think it doesn't exist. Like they're fighting.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I mean, to do that.
I can do this whole rollout about how I'm unhappy with what he's doing, but you love who you love, right? And I mean, once again, black, like, you know, African American problems. I'm not saying that the girl he came into the game with was the one for him, but she was a sister. And Kanye West seemed to, get money and decided to always want to date women who look a certain way. Kim Kardashian and whoever this young lady he's dating right now.
Mhm.
But what I'm getting at is Kanye West has had this rollout for the last few years about this gospel thing and now wanting to curse and not wanting to do certain type of music, the devil's music and all of that. And like I said, I've been watching him for the last week and a half or 2 weeks, hang around the wrong crowd, be buddy with certain individuals who I don't think he should be buddy with. And it started.
Who was you to say that though? Hey, that's weird.
What
do you mean that he shouldn't? You don't think that he should hang out with these people? How
tell
can
you
you
why.
say something like
tell you
that?
why.
Like that's kind of crazy to me.
Okay, let's get to it, right?
All right.
It started at the Drink Champs interview where I said, And he's kind of like been consistent with what he said at the Drink Champs interview. And you brought this up. He said I was never a backpacker. He always wanted, he always, was from the streets or whatever, or he admired the guys from the streets.
Right.
So when he brings up, Beanie Siegel money, you didn't have to say that, but you know what? Beans is a real street dude, so you always want to impress Beanie Siegel. He has no problem dissing or talking, like he has no problem getting hard against Talib Kweli, the Big Sean. You see where I'm going?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, the game has spent years talking about how he has smashed every Kardashian, and you never verbally, publicly said anything to him. But yet here you are in the studio with this man, making kumbaya music.
Well, they had songs before this though.
Right.
They have a couple songs together, so I don't know.
Well,
I don't think
they
had a problem when it comes to him doing the whole Kardashian thing.
Well, I'm saying there was a gap between it. They wasn't making music together, and that's when Game went on his tear of disrespectful bars towards him.
Right.
Towards his wife.
Right,
There's
towards
a lot
his
of
wife.
disrespect towards his wife that he won't say nothing to publicly.
Mm-hmm.
But you have no problem saying Talib Kweli, Common, guys he know won't.
Nah, but that's different though.
Okay.
The reason he said that because remember they're saying stuff about him first. That's the word. I understand what you're saying because those aren't the tough guys. So I completely get that. But remember, they were the ones shitting on Kanye first, especially when he was running for president. Since they were close to him, people were asking their opinion, and he's mad that they shitted on him when they could have just said either nothing at all, or I don't know, Talib Kweli killed him. Rightfully so, if you feel that way, but that don't mean Ye has to like you after that. Like,
I get it.
you got to get them bars. Like, you get those bars back once he's, say he's distracted now.
Yeah.
He was distracted with the album. Then all of a sudden he got a divorce. Now that both of those are over, Kanye might get on your ass now.
Yeah, but I need bars for everybody. That's what I'm saying.
It might be coming.
He's working with all the guys that has given him bars over the years. That's what I'm saying. He won't give those bars. At least it seems like he won't give those bars to everyone else. Game randomly just told everybody, and this was in between. Like, this was after You Wouldn't Get Far song. This is after the Jesus Peace album. They had worked together a lot. There was a space where a lot of artists became disrespectful. Ray J to Kim Kardashian.
So you want him to get Ray J bars and stuff. Like, I'm trying to say, other than Game, I get the Game. The Game point is a very, very good point. Him doing songs with him after all that now, I didn't think about that until you just said it. That is weird. Especially if he hasn't said anything publicly about it. It's kind of the same thing that we was talking about before. Like, if it's not public or on social media, it doesn't happen. Like, how come all of a sudden you and Game making songs again after he talked about the Kardashians like that? So I completely get that. But other than that, if he give Talib Kweli bars, I don't know if he got to give him bars. He gave him bars in that interview, fam. Like,
oh, well, that's what I'm saying.
He said he was trash and he never listened to his music. Like, what else? He doesn't have to rap anything.
Oh, no. When I say bars, I just mean what he did. Like, he already did it. He doesn't have a problem calling out the soft backpacker rappers. That's what I'm saying. Guys that's not going to put work in.
But he ain't got no beef with anybody else, though.
I'm saying over the years, I've heard Cameron, JimJones, I've heard Game.
Yeah, be with Cam.
I've heard
with Cam.
It's on the mixtape. It was
one time.
That. Yeah, it was one time Cam and Jimmy was saying something about him, but he won't. I'm just saying, not everything is for the public. I get that. So if you want to talk to somebody on your jack one-on-one, that's fine. But for some reason, he has no problem making people he know won't do nothing to him to be public. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's the Talib Kweli's, it's the Big Sean's, it's the what's my man Pete? Now it's Pete Davidson. Because on the record,
well, Pete Davidson is fucking his ex-wife. Like,
Game, okay. So
like he should get bars, fam. Pete can't get bars?
Not when you're not for a few reasons. Once again, he's using African American problems to feed the narrative, right? Listen.
Okay.
We don't know 100% of what happened, but if I'm correct, it was Kanye West that was running to Wyoming. It was Kanye West who was leaving home.
Yeah.
To do all this stuff, and then when Kim says, "I'm tired, I'm done with you," no, you can't have bars when a woman is fed up with you. When
the bars wasn't for her; it's for him.
But you got.
But for him. But I'm saying though, like I'm saying that, you know, that these people have private conversations every day.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure him and Pete Davidson has had altercations with each other that we do not know about.
You did.
That's what
possibility.
No, it's not a possibility. That has to be truth. Like, they still have kids together. So just by that alone, if Pete is always around Kim, they had to have interactions with each other.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying he got those bars because of that. Like, it could be something behind the scenes that he said that he want to beat Pete Davidson's ass because something happened that we do not know about.
I think it's
their conversations. He's fucking his girl. Like,
no. Okay, but here's the thing, though. Okay, so here's the thing.
Like, why can't he have bars for the nigga that's fucking his girl? I don't get that. That's crazy.
If you walk away from your family, you can't. To me,
he didn't walk away from his family. Don't do that. Man, they got a divorce. He didn't walk away from his family.
He might have changed his mind at the end and didn't want the divorce, but he was the one, allegedly.
Nah, she broke up with him.
I guess when you've had enough.
No, but he didn't walk away. That does not mean he walked away from his family because she broke off with him. Like, I don't get how you saying he walked away from his family.
He at one time didn't want to be there. We don't
Man.
know, but you're saying right. We don't know, but you're
Man,
also
come on,
defending.
man.
Listen. We don't know, but you're also defending what you don't know as well.
Nah, I'm not defending anything. I'm saying that we don't know, but you're saying he walked away from his family.
The energy. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we only know what we was reading in the headlines. It was like, and don't get me wrong, the Kardashians control the narrative. That's what they do. They can write
Yeah.
whatever. So when they say, "Hey, Kim is flying out to Wyoming to save her marriage," I'm not. That's not saying that I believe that. You get what I'm saying? But it's over, right?
Mm-hmm.
The relationship is over. How it went down, however it went down. But we know that Kanye West has been going through a lot of mental situations.
Mm-hmm.
And that could weigh on your girl. That could weigh on the family. That could weigh on. But my thing is when they're done, they're done. For me, him wanting his family back, cool. I got no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if Pete Davidson was disrespectful towards him or whatever. We don't know that. But what I am saying is like that's the process. The process is okay. I get it. There's a new man in town. You're not there no more. But as far as God save me for the car crash so I can beat Pete Davis's ass. We don't know where that bar came from. I'm just saying.
I think I kind of knew where it came from, fam.
Okay,
He fucking his girl, fam. Like, I do not understand just because it's Kanye West. He got bars for the dude that's fucking his ex-wife. In any other situation, it would be cool, but since it's Kanye West, we have a problem with it. Like, he got bars for the dude fucking his wife.
Yeah.
He should have bars for him, no matter who it is. It just so happened to be a corny nigga that's on SNL.
I just don't think it's consistent because once again, Game said I fucked your wife and your whole family. That's all I'm saying.
It's completely two different circumstances to me now.
I think you got to. I said this a while ago. I said that's why I respect the Suge Knights of the world because whether he got knocked out or not, he had bars for everyone. He didn't discriminate. I'm coming for everybody. So I've always been a consistent bar shot taker. But that's me. But the song that Game and Kanye West made is pretty cool.
It's actually fire. I actually like the song.
I think it's produced by Hit Boy.
Yeah.
Which is a whole nother conversation because Hit Boy was wild emotional about what Kanye West is doing. But I guess, that changes the whole narrative when people actually get around each other and express their, differences to say, hey, this is what
they made up.
Yeah, this is what was bothering me, before. Let's talk about it. This, that, and the third. I'm also happy for Game. We haven't heard Game in a while. But this is what happens when, you put Game around the Dr. Dre, the Kanye West, the Hit Boy. We might actually get good music because Game is not the type of artist that can stand on his own.
I don't know. Like he hasn't put out a bad album yet. And the people that, Dre been stopped producing for him. He can stand on his own. Like Jesus Piece ain't had Dr. Dre on it. That shit was ridiculous.
Yeah, Jesus Piece is one of my
he had random producers on that shit. That shit was fire. Like he can stand on his own. Like I understand what you're saying. Not like the big joints. It's not like documentary or whatever. But he still put out good stuff because he has a good ear. Like Game has one of the best ears to me in the game.
Okay, so yeah, he does. So also
the mic in the chat.
Shout out. What do you think about him not being given the address to his daughter's birthday?
But then they kind of cleared that up because I think they posted him at the birthday party or whatever.
Well, they said Travis Scott gave him the address.
Hey, that like I said before, it's mad stuff that's happening behind the scenes. Like it could be a reason for that, or it could have been not true at all, or it could have been a misunderstanding. When it comes to families and kids and stuff now, this is the type of shit I try to stay out of.
The funny part for me was when he said he asked Tristan Thompson, bro, don't ask me.
Tristan Thompson's like, fam, I already got, like, leave me alone.
Yeah, don't ask me. Don't
ask me shit right now, fam. I'm low right now. Like my baby was just born 2 weeks ago. Like leave me alone. Nigga had a baby out of the relationship like 3 weeks ago. You asking him for the addy? Leave Christian Thompson alone. He has enough problems right now.
That was the funniest. That was the funniest. Like, bro, please don't call me. Don't put me into this.
No, I got practice. I ain't there. Leave me alone. I'm doing wind sprints right now, fam. Do not get me into this. Like, I'm done.
Yeah. So
Go call Christian. I know he was mad. I know he was like, yay. I don't know. Don't ask me nothing.
So the question, but honestly, I mean, we can actually talk about it now, though. But the question that I did have for the podcast is, how far would you go to fight for your family? Because all women tell you, right? I don't know if you ever been in this situation. I don't know if you ever had to do this. But all women will tell you is you didn't fight for us. You didn't do enough. As a man, you don't know what that means. Because at the end of the day, you don't know if. Do you really want me to? Do you want me to fight your baby? I mean, your new boyfriend? Do you want me to crash parties? Do you want me to call you a million times?
I can honestly say I have never been in that situation.
Yes.
So I can't call it, but I actually, I obviously watch movies, know other niggas that been in that situation. I know what it is. That's why maybe I understand why Kanye got bars for the dude that's fucking his girl. It's almost like the same thing. Like, if he didn't have bars for Pete publicly, couldn't Kim say that to him? Think about it.
Shake ass?
No, like he, say if he didn't say that publicly or whatever, in the future, Kim could be like, "Well, you didn't fight for us." Why you ain't say nothing about Pete in the public?
So here's my thing, though.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Like, he could get bars back at him like that from Kim.
So here's my thing. Like, you make a good point. I just really believe that if her boyfriend was not Pete Davidson and was somebody else, would not have the ball.
If it was like, I'm trying to
say game. If it was the game.
No, see, that's nasty. No, it wouldn't have been the song in the first place then.
He would have got that song off somewhere else.
Somewhere else?
That's what I'm saying. If he was, that's all I'm saying.
You're crazy. Okay, Fat Joe come out. Fat Joe and Kanye West, and Fat Joe do his little bars and stuff. That Yeezy, then Ye get on there and kill the game. Or you saying be like, are you saying that he just, I don't know, he might throw a sub at him or not say nothing at all? Because that would be a huge thing if it was the game, fam. Like, you have to say something. That's way worse than Pete Davidson, man. Pete Davidson on SNL. like, think about it. This is the game. Like, that's a complete.
I'm just saying.
That's nasty. Saying.
And I'm not saying the game could see a tough guy. Anybody can. I'm just saying it just when it's a different animal, when it's a different, individual. Yeah. We all might use, a different thinking pattern process to actually handle our situation. It might have been handled more privately. You get what I'm saying? And first off, the game is different, but it's the industry. Everybody's sharing, everybody's taking turns. Are you not with him or her no more? And now you with the next celebrity. So anything's possible.
I get it. I get your point. Because what if it wasn't Pete Davidson? And think about, like, Travis Scott is already in the family. Tristan Thompson is in the family. What if it was like if A$AP Rocky wasn't dating Rihanna, he start messing with Kim Kardashian? Will he have bars for A$AP Rocky? That's weird. I get it.
It's not A$AP Rocky. It's the whole goddamn.
Yeah, it ain't his fault. But I'm saying he had words for Pete because Pete is a comedian, and I'm sure he said something slick to him. Like, that's not funny. You know what I'm saying? How comedians are. I think he probably said something to Kanye behind the scenes that we don't know about.
But that's definitely a conversation that I definitely, I wanted to have. Is like, what is fight for me? Because you don't know. Now, like you said, you brought up a good topic. Like, for me personally, I've had women tell me I didn't fight for us. Mm-hmm. I sit back and I go, well, shit, you're right.
Well, yeah, if I didn't want to.
Well,
I didn't think I needed to. You know what I'm saying? If I got to fight for it, like,
I've always respected women's wishes, though. Space, and I guess what you learn is women are liars. That's what I'm getting at. Women are fucking liars.
Yeah.
Because if a man say I'm done, he's done. If a woman says she's done, she's not done. She just wants you.
She's usually not done yet.
She's usually
done at the time.
She's done at the time, but then she might even be done for a few months. But then when she's not done, oh shit, you didn't even come for me. So that's you didn't even come nothing.
You didn't come get me.
You don't even care. Yo, one of the worst things you can do is not be jealous at all of her new boyfriend. Like, oh, word, that's what you're doing. Cool.
I mean, but that's just natural though, because women like to be chased. We're usually the hunters, and they're the ones,
Yeah.
So I get that, but yeah, you are right. like that's just. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're just talking about generally speaking.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's some women and some men act like that too. But generally speaking, yeah, women will be the one who wants to be chased. Like, no dude has ever broke up with his girl, and like 6 months later told her, well, "Why didn't you fight for us?" ain't a nigga in niggerdom ever did that before, ever. Like,
Ever.
nowhere. No, I've never heard of that. If they did, they really keeping this underground. Like, they not telling the rest of the niggas that.
That's what I was going to say too, because
that could be true though.
It can be true because men and women possess the opposite energy. Like, you have a feminine trait to you, I have a feminine trait to me.
Mm-hmm.
We have masculine traits, but if one of them, like for example, I hear some people who don't mind arguing, like going back and forth with their girl. See, I can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do that either.
But that's their feminine trait. They can do all
that's some weird shit from a dude.
they can do all that talking. Nah, if my girl come at me, I'm coming at them. What? I don't want to hear the shit.
Right.
Which could lead to a situation because they want a verbal confrontation. I can't do it. But like I say, every gender has a bit of the other sex's energy in them, and where it's at is where it's at.
Sure.
So if another guy did say, "Hey, you didn't fight," some men like to be chased. Listen, this is what it is.
Yeah, some dudes probably do like to be chased. That's weird to me. But it is what it is.
When you have pride, you keep it to yourself. You get hurt, keep it to yourself. All I'm gonna say is, what that is, when a woman says you didn't fight for me, we don't know what they want. And this podcast can't explain to you what they want. So if you feel like you got to crash your birthday party, if you feel like you got to come, quick story, right? Now, I don't know if this was some, when people fight for their exes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm chilling at this girl crib, right?
Okay.
Years ago.
Okay.
Years ago. I got set up too, fam.
She told you to come over. She knew he was coming.
Peep game. I didn't realize this put it in. Nah. Look.
Okay.
Shorty calls me over, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get over there. There's another female over there chilling. So it's me and two women having drinks. I really don't know the young lady. We just having drinks. This is way over like 10 years ago, fam. For anybody listening, this is so long ago. So I'm over there chilling. 30 minutes later, a knock at the door. She look at me. Cause it's like midnight. It's like 12:30 in the morning. Like, what we doing?
Wait, she looking at you.
She looking at me. I look at her. Cause I'm like, yo, if you at somebody's house, I got invited over for you. You didn't say we having a party. You ain't say nothing.
How well did you know this girl?
I knew her. It's kind of like reconnected with somebody that you knew another 5 years ago.
I don't know. My Brooklyn brain is floating. It sounds like a setup.
I just said it was a setup.
This just sound like a setup for real. Like a bad setup, like not a good one.
It was a setup. I don't think it was a setup from her. I'm gonna tell you the story. So to knock at the door, she look at me. I look at her. In my mind, I'm like, well, you ain't say. If you say I'm coming to a party, I understand. But who was coming to your spot randomly at 12:31 in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
So the knocking stops, and I can hear her say, "I don't know what he doing here." So she gets up. I guess she wanted to make sure her kids were still asleep or whatever. Blah blah blah. So this is an apartment we at, but we on the first floor. So some apartments got the patio.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting on the couch, and the kitchen is next to it, and the kitchen, the patio. You come in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he seen me. He walked around the back of the apartment, saw me. Dude jumps through the window, the patio. Splash. Yeah. Fighting for your love. This is the story.
Wait.
Jump through, fam.
Wait. He was outside of the apartment. And
he
crashed in?
Yeah. So when he knocked on the door, he realized she wasn't going to open it. So he went around to see who was in the house.
So like the Kool-Aid man, he busted into the window?
I didn't get a chance to see. I just heard splash. I got up and hauled ass. I didn't see him jump through, but I'm assuming. But I'm assuming he jumped through the shit. Oh, yeah.
He said, "I hauled ass, man."
It was one of them moments. Hey, listen. This is why when I watch thrillers and niggas is running,
who you sold the rights to your movie yet, fam? What is that? I've never, like, the situations you be in is like, that's crazy. He said, "I hauled ass. I ain't seen nothing else. I just assumed that he was in the."
I respect.
Oh, that's funny.
The script sometimes in like the thrillers when you watching the movie when you get your nerves running, because I just know I got up, I went for the door. You got to be real smooth with the doorknob. Sometimes you got that. Oh shit! What the fuck? I turned around. That's when I seen him getting up out the glass. I seen it, yeah, because he was. It's like when you jump through the shit and you on the floor, but you rising up. I turned around. Oh shit! Got the door open. In my mind, I'm on the first floor. No. So when I run out the door, I see like the laundromat. When you think of apartment laundromat, you think I'm in the basement. Let me go upstairs. Run upstairs. Dead end. I look down. Nigga standing right there at the bottom. Fuck, we about to get it in. I just jump, dive, and we start tossing and shit downstairs. We start fighting and shit. And this nigga like, who is he? Who is he? He's nobody. Leave him alone. Shit, bullshit. Who is he? Who is he? Choking each other. We like no punches. Just don't like it. We never got busy with
it seems like y'all fighting just to fight. Like, y'all don't really know why y'all fighting each other. In
my mind, I figured it out. Like, oh shit. In his mind, he don't know he don't know nothing about me. He came into that like, bro, he didn't know who I was. He didn't know if I was Blood, Crip, Latin King.
He didn't know if you had a gun on you.
He didn't know nothing. He just out of love, fighting for his love. I want to hear this guy saying, who is he? Who is he?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So. Yo, the moral of this story is after all that, you don't know why Kanye got bars for Pete Davidson. Nigga, you was Pete Davidson, fam. Like, what are you talking about?
Nah, see, nah, we not about to do that.
You with Pete Davidson.
Not about to do that.
You with Pete Davidson.
No, he knows who Pete Davidson is before he sent bars. Dude knew nothing about me. He didn't know if he jumped through that glass, what going on. He didn't know none of that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that's the funniest story. I'm really, really mad you have not told that story on this podcast before.
Yeah, so
that's funny. Did you tell anybody that? Like afterwards?
I've spoken on this a few times.
Is this in the hood though? Just like around?
I was in PA. I was in like in Salem or something. She called me out to her spot.
Okay.
So, you know, like my apartments around there.
Okay.
So the fight just ended because we just got up. It wasn't bro. It was never nothing. Like this happened so long ago, and I've never seen or heard of him ever again in life. You get what I'm saying? Like it's not like we got mutual friends on the socials. I wouldn't even know what he looks like today.
Okay.
You wouldn't even know me. Like we could be best friends tomorrow. Like, hey, yo, what's up, my man? Well, you like Tampa Bay Buccaneers too? We wouldn't even know. I don't know.
Oh, that's crazy. Like. What if he told the story? He'd be like, hey, yo, that was me, fam. That was me, Pete. I was Pete Davidson.
Oh, shit. The moral of the so basically, the reason why I said I was set up because I found out later on that the other young lady that was there was his sister. What? They were sisters. They was relatives. They were siblings. Remember I said there was another lady there?
Wait.
So she must have hit him on the jack like, yo, your baby mom got a dude up in here.
Wait. But why wouldn't she think his sister would tell her?
I don't know.
Tell him.
I don't know.
Yo, she set you up for a bad one. Yeah.
Now maybe she wanted me to pound her baby. She could have just said that. But if you jumping through the glass,
I think she set you up so he could try to beat you up.
Well, I guess she underestimated him jumping through that glass.
She didn't think he was that crazy. But that was obviously a setup, though, man. Like, Flaw, you there?
Oh, I'm coming back.
Okay. Told
coming
you,
back. You
you
hear
only
me?
got like an hour and a half worth of bandwidth, fam. We only 40 minutes in.
30, I'm 30.
We're only 40 minutes in, fam. Like,
So when you go fight for me, I don't think men know how far to take it. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if it worked out for him. You know, when his kids involved, I get it. I get it on that level. Yes, Jarrell, you're supposed to have bars for the new guy. You are. Keep that same energy for everybody, and the nut almost killed himself because him jumping through the window, he cut some arteries. So we scrapping. Like, Harry would have probably scrapped long enough. He probably would have.
like it was blood everywhere and stuff.
I don't know, fam. I wasn't looking. I
Yeah,
just,
you wasn't even looking. You just.
Dad talked to her afterwards, and she just was like, "Yo, he almost died because he cut an artery when he jumped through that joint."
I know you was like, have a good life.
Yeah, I definitely haven't spoken to her in a long time. But yep, that's my story, man. I got a few. I've lived a little.
I see. I ain't got nothing like that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I can see. I don't have no relationship stories like that. I was never Pete Davidson. I don't think.
Well,
or Kanye West in that situation. Like, usually, if all the times that I've ended stuff like that, it just ended. It was no drama behind it. Like, I never crashed through a window, or I never had nobody crash through a window to fight me either. I guess I lived a vanilla. I lived a vanilla ass relationship life.
me. Well, on my end, because if somebody said over for me, okay, I'll let you go. That's not saying that I ain't missing you, whatever. I ain't trying to, but I don't want to. I just never wanted to be that guy. Some guys don't have a problem being that guy. You're putting their life on the line for their love. But whatever, man. JimJones started a new project. Talk about Jimmy real quick. Gangsta Grills.
I did not listen to it. Not gonna lie.
It's nothing fancy about it, fam.
There's nothing fancy about it.
I think they're extorting poor Jimmy, fam. I think the hood got hold of him. The hood, that's who. He's got a million features on here. They got nothing to do with nothing. Hip hop extortion when you see it.
Well, maybe I don't know these people. I saw the track list. Yes, they do have a lot of features on them. Are these people like on his label that he's trying to start or something?
Can't be. Can't be. There's no way. Because I mean, we know how a label situation works for artists, though. The blueprint is already set. If you are Jim Jones or you 50 Cent or you Jay, you need that one artist first. You can't have 50 artists, just put them on the album and think that one's going to stick when it's a standout song. When your biggest record is you and the Migos. Migos ain't, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get that. I'm putting this in the context of how Benny's doing BSF now with Def Jam. Like, I kind of think that all of his projects is going to have, features of his artists now. And like you said, that doesn't necessarily be a good thing. Like none of them probably pop off of it. So what's the point?
Okay, so look, right. So, but you hope that one stick, but you got to give somebody enough airplay that people can grab onto it. Because when you got so many artists and you got so many songs on one mixtape, you like, okay, I don't remember the fifth song you played. It's almost song 15. So I don't remember what artist stands out. The only artists that stands out are the ones we familiar with. Oh, that's Fab. Or that's Mano. Or that's Davies.
Or you gotta be so good that you stand out. It used to be like that back in the day, though. Like, you had to stand out in order to get put on. It kind of ventured away from that. So I guess they trying to, try to bring the feeling back. I don't know. Like, having a whole bunch of rappers on a song and whoever pop off of it, but you just got to be different. I understand that. Like, that's weird. That doesn't happen like that now.
I don't know if that is it, because I guess maybe you talking about a time where there was about 4 or 5 guys on one song.
Yeah.
And the DJ got it, played it, and you got a chance to. But I'm saying,
right.
You are an artist and you got multiple songs like that. You're not even letting that one song breathe. Like, can you imagine if niggas done started something, DMX, the Locks, Mason, them come out, right? And then DMX got another song with it, and then he got another song with like 4 other dudes, another song with, like, you get like, God damn, you forgot how Mates just killed it. because you
Right.
keep beating this. But what they did on that album was they gave us one posse cut.
Yeah,
So
there's always one posse cut
always
on the
one
album. Yeah.
posse cut.
Yep.
But
You're
on
right.
this album, he's got so many features. Like, yo, I mean, Jim, you too old to be in this position. Because what's it, Vamp Life Records, and I'm not saying that that's his record label, but we know how hip hop artists sometimes run their label. Oh yeah, and back to the Benny the Butcher, I wanted to touch on that real quick. He had a Gangsta Grill, and he only had 2 artists on it, which was him, and I forgot the other dude. But it's whether you like it or not, it's easy. It's easy to grab on them 2 and be like, okay, these are artists.
I think
So I
it was
get what you're
38.
saying.
I think it might have been 38 Special.
Now, I wasn't 38 Special. I would have knew 38
Wasn't?
Special. That was a different project that he had a few of his artists on it. But the Black Soprano Mafia family, the one with Gangsta Grills, it was only
Right.
Yeah, it was only 3 members, and one of them was Benny. And that's saying, hey, yo, these are my 2 guys. This is the BS. This is the Black Mafia family, and we rolling with it. There are other projects where have other artists, but hey, it is what it is. At least you should know who 38 Special is or the other artists. I'm saying I don't know these other artists from a can of paint. And I think that poor Jimmy is being extorted, but this is how you stay protected in the hood. You're only able to be extorted because you're staying in your environment. I'm saying that I saw this happen to multiple artists. This happened to Nas. This happened to Prodigy. When you stay around and your homies come home from jail and you still in the Queens projects, yo, we trying to get on. What's up? You get what I'm saying? Like, what is Nas doing a song with Lakey the Kid for? He doesn't have to, but he did.
Matter of fact, now that you said something, I saw. Remember when Freddie said something about him coming to New York or whatever? I saw a response video of Jim. Jim was walking around the projects with Mano.
Yes.
And we're like, oh, why are you walking around the projects with Mano? You were like Jim got dough on him now. Like Jim ain't Jim no more. Like, don't get me wrong, Jim is still Jim, but he got a lot of money, man. I don't want him to say be careful because that is his hood or whatever. But yeah, like somebody might not like that. He had his jewelry on and all that.
Yeah,
he's walking around the projects like.
And honestly, just to add on to what you're saying, I'm listening to that mixtape. I was trying to get a feel from it. And it wasn't artists from Harlem. Might have been some from Harlem, but it's artists from Brooklyn. It's artists from all over. So when you put other artists on, that gives you that 5 minutes of fame in the hood. Like, yo, Jimmy just did a feature with me. But the thing is when you're dealing with the hood, you're dealing with the wolves. It only lasts for 5 minutes because they're going to ask you, yo, where my next play at? And that's the dangerous part that Jimmy is facing. And so that's why I'm just like, yo, if Jimmy, because think about it, fam.
Because when he was walking around, it wasn't Harlem. He was in projects.
He's happy to be.
It looked like Brooklyn, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Like he keeps bragging about Brooklyn, him being in that with Mano, but he keeps going from hood to hood. Jim, how old are we?
Yeah.
Cameron, do you see Cam? Do you see anybody else
Cam went
doing
to
this?
Cam went to Ohio, nigga.
Cam is doing funny skits in his duplex apartment, having a good time, enjoying life.
With Brandy. Like, he doing skits with Brandy and shit.
Yeah. Like, owning multiple franchises of McDonald's and Burger King. I think he was selling toilet paper or something, too, at one time. But I'm just saying, there's a blueprint that was out there. And JimJones, like, eventually might just be put in that position as to where, I mean, I'm not even going to say it because I'm not going to say it because there's a lot going on with Jim. Be that podcast.
It's a lot going on with Jim.
It's a lot going on.
It's a lot of stuff that we don't talk about that's going on with Jim.
I'm not going to talk about with Jim. But
that's why much as I actually wanted to say, I'm a huge Freddie Gibbs fan. What he doing right now is corny though.
Who, Freddie or Jim?
Freddie.
Which part?
I don't like that shit, man. Like he telling like New York he coming to our city. He got 2 shows here. Get ready or whatever, because the beef with the shit that he said with Uncle Murder, and now he got beef with JimJones. Like, what do you expect to happen when you come to New York? Like, what do you think is going to happen, Freddie?
Yeah.
Like, Jim can have you. You know what I'm saying? Jim ain't soft in the streets here. Like, this is his hometown. Like, we're not anywhere else. Like, you're not going to come to our hometown. He has 2 shows here. back to back. So that means you're gonna be here for a little while. I don't understand you making too much money for that. Like it's almost inviting beef.
And let's put some
Like
things.
you're not in that position anymore to be inviting beef anymore.
Right.
Like, that's over. That's like it's corny now. Like that's
So
corny.
let's
Not
put
no real beef.
yeah.
Stick to the academic stuff. Even that is getting a little corny with like gangsters usually don't is doing the most interneting.
He's doing a bit, but
Is doing the most interneting ever now.
doing,
Like
he's doing
it's
a
worse
lot
now though.
But remember, I told you, I said, Freddie, why? This is before I knew who he is, but I'm just like, why are you going back with academics? I can't register that. Like, why are you doing that? And you think you told me having a good time, but boy, you doing a lot, man.
I didn't think it was going to get to that though. Yeah. Like, it's like if it's still going. Like that's not real beef. You and actors not going to do anything to each other. And now the shit that happened with Jim, you actually did get into a fight. Now, after the fact, you talk about you coming to New York twice. What are you going to do? You're not going to do anything but do your show and go somewhere else.
Yeah, and go somewhere else. That's the thing that I think where my biasness not become, I don't want to say sensitive to the topic, but people hate the New York area.
Right. And like the aesthetic because we talk highly about ourselves when it comes to hip hop. That's
and we don't understand other people, and it's always fuck area because we don't understand it, which was just kind of like why a lot of the things we got in trouble with because we didn't understand it and we only knew what we knew. But if you got an issue with JimJones, why is it New York coming out your mouth? That just seems to be the talk. T.I. Oh, and 50 Cent doing the bad. Why are you New York nigga? Like it's just as a whole. If you're not from here, their thing is to put New York down. Oh, if you don't think that JD can beat Puffy, you New York niggas don't know who you know what I'm saying? It's like like they want to, and it's just like, fam, if you got beef with JimJones, you just did a song with Kiss. You get what I'm saying? Like you just did a song with Nas. You just did a song. Like, would that make New York as a whole? If you got a beef, because you might as well not say nothing at all. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't say nobody's name or nobody's hometown if you're not gonna say who you got the beef with. Oh, Uncle Murder, I'm coming to your town. That would have been stupid too. But say Uncle Murder's name. Don't say, New York, I'm coming. Because guess what? The stick-up kids still live here. The scammers still live here. Nobody's getting money no more the way they used to. Hey, you are a lick if you're inviting them.
He's like, especially if you're inviting it. Like
you inviting it.
Especially like you did a whole album with Alchemist. Like, leave New York alone, fam. Like
I don't get it.
Leave us alone, man.
But
like don't say anything like that. Just do your show and I hope he has a good show. I'm still a Freddie fan. That's one of my favorite rappers in the game. I think he's nasty. But when it comes to stuff like that, that's corny. We don't need that. Like he's too old for that. Niggas is almost 40 years old. Like don't invite nothing like that. If you got beat up by Jim, fight him back. Don't say you come to our city, we not ready, what we gonna do? We're not gonna do anything unless you want us to. Like, just do your show.
That's the way it is for New York. The second one person says something, it's like the whole town, the whole city, the whole state is ass. Like, bro, what we don't even know nothing about what you're talking about. Not every and that's the thing about people don't know about New York or the politics on the East Coast at all. Everybody minds their business. Not everybody know what JimJones got going on. Right. You get a chance like, yo, bro, I don't know what Jim got going on, but that's on him. That don't mean the whole New York don't like of whoever.
Man, I can honestly say that I guarantee you that most people in New York don't listen to Freddie music or really know him at all.
Yeah, they just know that you just invited them to a party.
Right. That's all they know. They know he's a bigger artist now than he was before. He got nominated for a Grammy and all that, but for the most part, they don't know him. They don't know his story or what he's capable of. It's just another down south nigga talking shit now. They probably think he's from down south because he sound like he's from Indiana. They probably think he's like another nigga from Atlanta somewhere talking shit. I guarantee you, they don't know Freddie's like jacket like that or what he's about or his songs and stuff. No.
So speaking of JimJones, he demands a one-on versus battle with the JadaKiss.
See, I told you we should stop this. Everybody's is calling out everybody for versus. Like Kodak Black said he need to go against JayZ, and if he wins, such and such will happen. Like, I'm tired of this. Like Versus has started something, especially when it comes to competition. A lot of people think like everybody think that they're best, so everybody think they're capable of a Versus or should get a Versus. I think JimJones is high as hell if he think that he even deserved to be on the same stage when you come talking about solo projects or solo stuff with JadaKiss. Like, what is he thinking?
Well,
what is he thinking?
I can say that
Jim couldn't beat Cam. Why don't you go against Cam since sometimes y'all don't like each other, sometimes y'all don't.
That would have been fine.
Sometimes you like each other, sometimes you do like each other. Go against Cam. Leave JadaKiss alone. Like, you're just doing this because he embarrassed y'all in the garden.
Right. That would have been
That's
fine.
The only reason you're doing it.
But what does that tell you, though? I didn't approve how Cam went about it. JimJones, Santana didn't know his songs. If I'm JimJones, then I'm in shape.
Shout out to Mike. Mike said Jim can't even beat Jewels. Don't do that. Don't stop, Mike. Don't do that, Mike. Jewels got like three possible. Yeah. He got more than two. He got more than two. He got two solo joints. He got two solo joints. But he got some other stuff he could get on.
Give me two songs that Jim ain't on.
See, I didn't say all that. No, the single that he had with him walking around the project. That's one right there.
Jewels dip, Santana set.
That's that shit though.
Okay, he needs 19 more.
But then Jim will play balling and get that out of there quick. So
yeah, Jim got 20.
That's not a. Yeah,
I'm just saying the way it's.
Hold on, you said what?
Jim got 20.
You said Jim got 20.
Jim got 20. Jim don't got 20. Jim don't got.
I mean, 20? He has 20. He don't got 20 hits. Anybody got 20 songs?
I think Jim
ain't got no damn 20 hits,
Jim
nigga.
Got 20 New York records.
No, he doesn't. 20?
I think Jim got 20 New York.
And he was just on because he was on and didn't feature Cam? All them Dipset records, ain't Jim's?
But if I'm battling, here's the thing though. If I'm battling Kiss,
he gets to play those though. Yeah,
he gets to play those, and he gets to perform them at a higher level. So think about it.
Kiss will beat the hell out of Jim. I don't even know why we still talking about. We're not talking about Jim against Kiss.
I'm just saying, JadaKiss is the ultimate professional. Kiss is going to win and win a lot of verses because he goes up and he takes it serious. I think that Jim takes it serious. I think the people around him cost Dipset. It looked worse because of Freaky Zeke. Think about it. Huh? Freaky Zeke. Santana get his hat torn off his head and slammed and not knowing his verses. And Cameron on the beach chair. JimJones will give you just a better performance by himself.
Cam he wanted the computers to start computing with the freestyle. He got booed in the guard. Yo, Cam getting booed in the guard. I don't know. Like, I'm a New Yorker, man. That's nasty. That was nasty.
That was
disgusting.
Yeah, that was. It's so disgusting. We're going to talk about that for years.
Cam is from Harlem, fam. And he got booed at the Garden. Think about it. That nigga lived like 30 blocks away from
Yeah, that's definitely nasty.
I'm just saying, man, like, people just don't know. I'm a New Yorker. Like, being the quote unquote like king of Harlem, whatever, between him and Mace, for him to get booed at the Garden is nuts. Like, that does not happen. That's not supposed to happen like that.
You're definitely not gonna see Cam again. We're talking about a bird. Cam's coming back. That's all. Just the ultimate disrespect. But Jimmy, I'm just saying, I would like to see it because I just think that it will bring more prestige. Because what we saw from Dipset was really a shit show. That's all I'm saying. I think
I would like to see Cam. I would like to see Cam by itself. I think Cam by itself is a completely different monster than having that Dipset shit there. Like, if Cam went back and he knows how serious it is now, right?
Yeah.
I think a set with Cam and JadaKiss would be way better than Jim. Like, I actually like that versus. Like, Old Boy is coming on. Like he is a way better matchup for Kiss by himself than having the other two niggas up there.
I'm okay with that. It's just Cam hasn't come out and said anything. It's just Jimmy. I don't know. And I'm pretty sure they do because we all got pride and we all want to be number one. But sometimes when you don't rehearse, when you don't practice, you go up there, you just throw anything together. You got to look at it like, shit, fuck, I know where we went wrong. And I'm not saying that a cleaner Dipset performance wins. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it looks better because we saw the dysfunction. A beach chair, my man, like Santana opening his mouth. You ain't got no girl songs. Shut up. It wasn't nothing Jim said. Nothing Jim did was violated him. It's everything that everybody else did. Santana put in his mouth.
But here's the thing, though. To be honest, when you look back at it, Jim ain't had no memorable good moments either. I don't remember Jim at all during that show. You? Other than him losing his chain?
Losing his chain or the ring, one of them things.
Ring or chain, yeah. You're right. Might have been a ring.
Yeah.
But I don't remember Jim doing anything memorable on that show himself. So,
well, because everything else, I mean, maybe
that's his fault.
It wasn't memorable because Kiss was performing his ass. Freaky was acting a fool. Cam and Styles was kicking each other and saying acting like he was getting this. It was too much happening.
Yeah, but Flaw, to your credit, right? To your credit, you talk about how Sheik is usually like the odd man out, lowest on the totem pole, whatever. I even remember like a memorable Sheik moment with him rapping in the middle of the stage, getting his bars off. I don't remember Jim doing that.
The difference between Dipset and the Lox, though, is the Lox know their place. Dipset was just all over the place. That's what I'm saying. Like, Sheik stands out because Sheik waited for his turn. If Sheik started doing a Tootsie Roll while Kiss is rapping, you would have been like, what the fuck, yo? What the fuck is going on?
Sheik doing the Tootsie Roll. Why these niggas is rapping, doing the back and forth shit?
Like, them dudes was so professional. You was able to respect what they had going on. Dipset on the other end. First off, let's look at it, right? They came out, first off, you got the Lox in the ring waiting for them niggas. Where they at? Like, they already got the crowd.
Right.
Dipset wouldn't come out. Then they came out separate. I'm telling you, all of this plays a part. It still would have lost. I'm just saying, if you let Jim do it by himself, it'll bring some type of respect to his catalog. Because at the end of the listen, we still laughing at them niggas. We saying they got watched 19-1 or 18-2. I don't even remember the score. We just know Kiss.
That shit was like 20-0. We didn't care what the score was.
Right,
it was a lot to a little. That's what the score was.
We don't even know what the score.
They got slaughtered. Let's just say that.
That was one of the worst. Listen, Gucci Man got slaughtered worse. But perfect example. JayZ beat the brakes off Gucci, in my opinion.
Yes.
A lot of people's opinion. But because Gucci was able to perform at his best abilities, it didn't look as bad. I'm just saying, if you give Jim the opportunity to perform at the best ability to represent his catalog,
I get what you're saying.
We might be on
because even though Gucci, his songs weren't bigger than JayZ, but he at least performed them like they were.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Like, to his audience, to his fans, that was a dope Gucci set. And he might have beat JayZ to his fans, but even the Dipset fans didn't know they lost to the Lox. Like, even if you was a Dipset fan that night and wasn't a Lox fan, they lost.
Mm-hmm.
Gucci fans thought he won that night. You know what I'm saying?
And it's a possibility because I'm on Twitter. I'm just like, yo, when a Gucci song played, a lot of people was like, yo, I remember where I was at when that came out. Gucci means a lot to some people, fam. Not on the grand scheme of things. Like, he was never a big star like JayZ. So that's why it was like a bad matchup. We just wanted to see the car crash. We just wanted to see a wreck. Mm-hmm. That's what we wanted. So when Gucci came out with the diss record, oh man, it's gonna be the best verses ever. It really wasn't a song versus song.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I know some people that thought Bone Thugs won because they're big Bone Thug fans.
Yeah.
Because the song, because if you take the drama away, the stuff that Lazy was up there doing and the way they were performing, they at least performed their songs well. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They weren't singing like they was, but when it came to rapping, they actually did rap well up there. Like, they didn't shit the bed. They didn't perform badly. So as long as you get your songs off and you perform well, your fan base at least would think that you won for the most part.
I believe that to be true. As long as you go up there and do your thing, unless you're going to be honest, like I think we're honest, like you and I, like the pod, because you had Premier beating RZA before it happened, but you admitted that Premier didn't play some shit, and if
He didn't play the shit that he was supposed to, so he lost. Yes, the
yes.
RZA beat him that night.
But if you feel like if he would have played this, then he would have beat the RZA. I don't think there's nothing that the RZA didn't play. He should have. I don't think he played Triumph in 20. I think he played it after. But
there was a couple joints that RZA should have played too. You're right.
At the end of the day, if we watch that, we go, damn, you ain't play that. I got to give it to my man's over here. You get what I'm saying? But if you watched,
just like I think when Big Daddy Kane and KRS won, depending on who you're a fan of, that was who won that night, really. Because both of them performed so well, you couldn't say anything negative about the other dude if you're not a big fan. Like, say if you're a huge Big Daddy Kane fan and those songs resonate to you, the shit that KRS-One was doing over there, you can't diss it. He performed and rapped everything well, and the same goes with Big Daddy Kane. Big Daddy Kane was up there flipping the mic in the air and grabbing it with the other hand, doing spin moves and shit, and still rapping. And he almost in his 60s.
Yep.
So yeah, depending, like, as long as you perform well, you will get a good showing in Verzuz.
Which makes my JimJones point. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because Jim would perform better than that. They would have to. like you can't perform worse than that. And the same thing with Cam. Like, Cam by himself up there is a completely different show than what we saw.
Honestly, from the energy that I saw it played out the way Cam wanted it to, in a sense. If you remember that Verzuz, he let Dipset do the first few songs, and then he got up, and the crowd went crazy for Suck It or Not. Dipset is huge, but just like every group, everybody has their favorite. Cameron is the one that a lot of people imitate. Nobody, I mean, don't get me like JimJones is responsible for a lot of gang activity in New York. Get that, but that's not saying
allegedly.
That's he admitted it. So
I'm just trying to get Jim that allegedly. You're right.
It's one of his claim to fame. He's proud of it. But that's not saying that JimJones is responsible personally for it. It's just his energy, his music.
Right.
Cameron personally can say he's responsible for a fashion adjustment, a slang adjustment, a sound adjust. Like Cameron. So when you see Cam go, like, yo, I remember when his Cam joint dropped. You get what I'm saying?
Cam was the star.
Yeah, Cam was the star. And even if you like Jimmy, you go, well, that's Cam, man. That's the thing. Oh, Santana? Oh, Cam put him on. No matter where you go, no one can escape the Cam was there. So yeah, if Cam did a Verzuz by himself, I think he's getting a lot of people out of there. It might even be closer with Kiss. Just off the fact that Kiss has done it twice. And
I would love a Cam Verzuz, but it's just about who he would go up against.
If it ain't Mace, don't come back. If it ain't Mace, don't do it.
If it ain't Mace, don't do it?
Yeah. It got to mean something. Him and Mace has been bad. Him and Mace have had the pettiest, bruh. You don't even know what days.
It don't even make no sense.
It don't even make no sense.
They used to be friends and on the same basketball team and shit like, when they was little. They be beefing over it. They beef like, know what it is? They beef like real brothers. They beef like they really close because they beef is be nonsense.
They really don't got little shit. Yeah, they got nothing to beef over. It's like,
don't nobody owe nobody money. Ain't nobody died over their beef, but it's like you said something that I ain't like 10 years ago. Fuck you.
Yeah, and think about what they beef was over. Like, Cam, are you really mad that Mace is stealing money from the church? What does that got to do with you? Why is that your business?
Because like I think it has like, even though they grew up like brothers, I think it was a big rivalry between them because they were supposed to they was in the same rap group together, Children of the Corn, but Puffy got Mace first. So Cam, went to school, did something, and then he came back. Like, Mace got put on first, so it was a big competition between both of them, being like the quote unquote king of Harlem. That's all. But then after that, Cam blew up even more and got bigger than Mace did. So there was always a going back and forth between it. Like, these people know each other's families and shit. They're like real brothers, like, to be honest.
And the stack, that's a real thing. I remember DMX had a problem with the Lockskin sign first. Always like some competition between Nas and Prodigy. When you from the same hood and you feel like you nice and somebody else get put on or somebody's talking about you more than the other. Because at one time it was just like, yo, not like Prodigy's making a movie in the hood. Nas, that's supposed to be you. Prodigy's putting all the Queensbridge artists on. Nas, it's supposed to be you. So people don't understand, like, that Queensbridge album, Prodigy was making Murder Music the movie before, and he was getting the soundtrack and putting Queensbridge artists on. So what does Nas do? Like it's documented. They said Nas rented the studio next to his and was taking artists from P. Like, yo, don't go. Not saying he was telling him not to go there. Hey, yo, come over here too. But who you gonna want to work with? Nas. So we got the QB album based off what P was doing. Why? Because Prodigy wasn't supposed to be doing that. It's supposed to be Nas putting the hood on. So when you from the same hood and multiple people are nice, well, you always gonna get that unless we under each other.
You know what? People don't think about it all. People don't think about that. Like, think of DMX, The Lox, and Mary J. Blige from Yonkers. Puffy got Mary first. Remember, she wasn't with Bad Boy, but he got her at Uptown.
Yeah.
Did her first 2 albums. So Diddy already got her from Yonkers first, but then he went and got The Lox. Before DMX, and DMX was way bigger in the street than The Lox was at that time. Like, they was the young boys. They was coming up, had mixtape and stuff like that. But known in the street, DMX was DMX for a long time before The Lox came out. Yeah, like DMX was like X was rhyming in the street, and people knew him in New York way before he got put on the Rough Riders. So like I could see why he could have felt some type of way, but it's not like he wanted to be signed by Diddy. It was the point that he wasn't signed. Period.
No, he wanted to go to Bad Boy. Diddy said he wasn't it. Yeah, Diddy turn X down. I just think, yeah, he turned X down.
Okay.
Yeah. He said he didn't have it. I can't quote it, but it wasn't what Puff was looking for, basically.
Okay.
And
it makes sense.
Yeah,
because look what he turned the Lox into. Like the Lox was nasty because they had a following in the street, and lyrically they was nice, but he turned them into something else. He couldn't turn X into that.
Yeah, maybe he couldn't control X because
he knew he couldn't turn X into. You think I'm jiggy? Can you imagine X doing that? No. He could get the Lox to do that at the time. They were younger. You know what I'm saying? But he couldn't get X to do that. No way.
I think things happen the way they happen. You can't have everybody. Like the Lox is huge, not as big as DMX, but I mean, you got Mary and Lox. I mean, damn, what you want the whole Yonkers?
Right.
Shout out to Mike, Free Max B. God damn you.
Had to get it in.
Had to get it in, fam. We was good. Roland says, "Flaw, please. Mace has no reason to do a Verzuz," which got me thinking, do Mace got 20? I don't know. I guess I just wanted
to he does.
Mace got 20?
Yeah.
Okay. Features. A lot of
features, he has 20. I'm not saying it's the strongest 20 ever, but he can do one. He's not the strongest 20 ever. Him and Cam would be a good Verzuz.
Yeah, personally, it'll be a New York thing. We just want to see them on stage, going for King of Harlem, bro. It's personal. It's not for the world.
I wouldn't expect it to, it's not gonna have like the biggest numbers in the world, but personally, I would like to see that. That's all. Yeah. It's like if I don't have it, if we don't get it, we're not upset.
Yeah, if we don't get it, we're not upset. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
we good.
Afterwards, we go, woo.
Yeah, I'm watching. Definitely. If Mace get on a Verzuz stage, I'm definitely gonna watch it, but I'm not like clamoring for it. No.
Sean Carter, man, aka JayZ, got on Twitter. When I believe a tweet went out about how JayZ disapproves of that album. Here it is, right? Our main argument is this is what somebody said on Twitter, and I'm sorry, but I don't know who this person is, but they got the blue check, so they are somebody.
Oh, that's is it Questlove?
I want to say it's
Amir Quest 5 letters on. Yeah,
I just didn't want to get it wrong. It looked like Questlove with the afro, but it don't say Questlove, so I ain't want to be like, yo, Questlove said. But cool.
Yeah, that's his name, Amir. His name is Amir Quest.
Okay,
like, that's him.
So Questlove, and of course Jay responds to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's Quest. Cool. Like that's his drummer. So
yeah, the argument of his for Volume 1 is he's embarrassed for trying to make a monster, not putting up numbers. But a lot of his LP contains his best moments. Fight me. JayZ retweeted it by saying, agreed. More so, I know what could have been, so it haunts me. Streets is Watching was the first song made. Which I guess we're saying was, I guess we know the direction he was going in, but then when politics come in,
he got to do the shiny suit set.
Yeah, you ain't got Puffy on your album. You ain't
You
got
got to do
this.
Sunshine and shit like that.
Yeah, right. Which kind of takes it in a whole different direction. But if you watch this thread, and it kind of got me thinking about what you were saying about if you perform your 20, whether you win or lose, your fans are going to think you win. The JayZ fans were in writing comments by saying how dope Volume 1 was, right? Consistent, like we know that Volume 1 isn't his best record. He's got his moments. I mean, you got
He got
imaginary
joints on
player.
there,
Yeah, it's
yes.
got some things on there.
Definitely
Of
got joints
course,
on it, yes.
when you come from Reasonable Doubt and you drop Volume 1, we all just can't agree on everything, right? Nothing's trash.
Right.
Nothing's ever just going to be trash 100%. Like it could be the wildest, weirdest record out, and somebody's going to like it. That is what it is. But JayZ is agreeing that, hey man, I wish I could have that Volume 1 back, which is the conversation that we've all been having. It's not a shocker. But when you know what I'm saying, when you say, hey, listen, I wish I could have that one back. It's a few things I would have done differently. But it just
I
goes.
think every artist say that probably. Every artist, even if it's a very good album and people think it's like regarded very well, artists, knowing artists, they will always want to go back and tweak some stuff that they don't like. No matter how good like people can say something is a classic. I guarantee you Nas would like to change something on Illmatic if he could have.
Yeah, I always I just think that it's a feel good moment for me when you could say, oh, that ain't it. And then the artists go, you know what? That ain't it. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, I trust my ears. And that's what I get from this. Because if he would have been like, fam, if you don't like Volume 1, you's a dickhead. Like,
Right.
like, you really gonna stand on that? But when you go, hey, listen, man, I knew that wasn't my best work. There's some things that I wish I would have changed. And when he says Streets is Watching was his first record, that's letting you know where the direction he was going to take it at. For some reason, though, politics got involved. The Puffy effect got involved. If you don't got a Puffy song, a Puffy something on your album, that type of where hip hop was going, which is a good point that I want to make as well. Artists like JayZ, I'm gonna give him his flowers.
Okay.
For artists like JayZ, when every time, think about how many times the game changed. This guy gets credit for dropping every year. Every year the game changed. He was able to be like, oh, the Rough Riders is coming, and I hold this beer. Oh, Pharrell, you hot now? Nah,
Right.
I hold this beer. Oh, Kanye West, Judge Blaze, you're like, hold my beer. He was able to grab when the movements was changing. He was able to grab it and be like, nah, I'm gonna dance with this as well. The only one flaw I think that he didn't capture the sound at the time was the Volume 1 when he tried to get jiggy with it with the Puff Daddy joint. The jiggy era, yeah. That
See,
was
the only reason I could say like it might have been the only time that he tried that and it didn't work. But I think if he would have, I think it's because of the song, not because of the content or how it was. Like it could have been another getting jiggy with it type of song. It could have just worked. Like Biggie has a couple of those. Like it's mad stuff that kind of jiggy with the songs that Biggie wouldn't have liked. Like the stuff that
Biggie has a jiggy with it.
not to get jiggy with, not that type of
Okay.
song per se, but it's mad songs that Biggie didn't like that Puff made him do. Like Biggie didn't like Juicy.
And that just might be
Like it's not a street record. Like these niggas is from Brooklyn, from the street. These are not the type of songs that we gravitated towards. Like it's the reason why Puffy did that. He had to change it. Like it had to be more commercial.
well, I'm glad you brought that up because that could just be to the credit of how great Big is, because those songs could have been disasters.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's why a lot of people say Big is the greatest of all time. Not just because it's because the stuff that he did, a lot of that stuff he did not want to do. Those girl songs that he came out with, like Big Pop and stuff, that was not Big's MO. That's not how he rhymed.
Yeah.
But those songs were classics because of how good he is. Like he took that beat and he did what he did with it, and it became a classic, even though that's not the type of music that he likes. That's not the type of music that he liked doing.
Yeah, and I think that's dope that you just added on to the the many accolades, because people that went to follow him, we looked at them like, yo, what are we doing? Like, don't get me wrong, the Money, Power, and Respect album was cool, but we can live without If You Think I'm Jiggy. We
Right.
can live without Sunshine from JayZ. They didn't master sound that Puff Daddy was, the idea. It's like, okay, Puff gave me an idea, but what you going to do with it? Yes, Big didn't like none of them records. If it was up to Big, he would have made 20 Suicidal Thought records.
Right.
20 Give Me the Loots. He would have done all of that. You get what I'm saying?
Machine Gun Funk, all those songs. This nigga here, look at yo, salute the mic. Big, he said, like he thinks that Biggie Smalls was overrated.
How?
I don't know. He only has 2 albums. Like, how can you overrate?
Yeah, but when you drop 2 classics, when you set the bar twice, what do you want me to do? Just like they said, if Nas died after it was written, he's the best thing. Like, you got to give. If
he would have been the best thing, like everybody would say he's the best rapper of all time.
He's the best rapper of all time. So at the same time, if Biggie was only able to give you 2 and one was a double album, I mean, at the end of the day, when you push the needle, when you're the needle pusher, I don't understand what you like. Okay, yes, he did not get the opportunity to work on his 10th album and it be trash like some other artists. It's not a problem. I mean, I'm pretty sure he wish he was here to actually try that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, when your catalog is your catalog and it don't got, I mean, no flaws at all. I mean, what more do you want him to do? Mike says that's exactly why he's overrated. He's had 2 albums and he's always in the GOAT conversation. Listen,
well,
I can't turn on YouTube, and it might just be my algorithm. But I can't turn on YouTube without people still talking about Biggie and Pac, fam. They represent a time. And listen, I saw this other tweet too, right? The 90s just might be the highest of the highs when it comes to art. It's like a lifestyle, like art, like music and everything, right? Like the 90s is the home of probably some of the fire action flicks, some of the best TV shows, and some of the best music. It's the year like 2000, corporations come involved, the music changes a little bit, but the 90s is like the rawest of the raw. And that's kind of like, and I'm happy that I was a part of that. So for you to be an artist in the 90s, it just means more. To me, it just means more when you're from that era. And I could be biased because I'm from the 90s.
Yeah, we're just like our parents think the same thing about the 70s. The same thing.
They could. But when we talk, it's tough though, because when you're from the 90s, you've already taken from what the guys from the 80s did. Guys from the 80s didn't have nobody to look up to. They just went out and did their thing. I'm just saying.
When you talk about just rap in general?
Well, talking about rap.
I'm talking about music, period.
Your life in general. Yeah.
Okay.
But right now I'm talking about hip hop though. Like Biggie. It's the era. Like I said, a lot of stuff that they did is just classic material. Like everything they did was classic. Now it's today, everybody picks apart every album. Oh, I ain't like track 5. It was garbage. Everything people did back then was classic because you just represented something, man. Like Redman got classic bodies of work. Illmatic came out, like Biggie Smalls, like all of that. Like when Big coming out in the 90s stamped you. And that's why Nas and JayZ and other artists that came from the 90s can make music in the year 2022. And it means something because you come from a forever era. Yeah. That makes sense.
Roland said them niggas just died when y'all were young. That's why they're held in such regard. Like I get that, but Big is a little different.
That's not true.
And Pac is a little different too, because when it comes to them, they died young, but they were great young. Like it was a lot of not a lot of, because rappers weren't really dying like that or killed before that, but it was a lot of young rappers that might have passed on or just fell off or whatever. But they just weren't as great as they were. Like when you talk about Big and Pac, like they were both like 23 and 24 years old, 25 years old when they were killed. Like that's not being that great that young and not having to go on with your career, whatever. Like that takes a toll. It's not just because we were young and they died. They were great, and they died young. It's a difference.
Like I said, in 2022. Tupac, they still the women, they still talking about this guy, fam. They're still fighting over who was his love. They're still fighting over like I was there when this happened with Pac, and Pac did this, and Pac said that, and Pac was a rider, and Pac shot the cops, and Pac defended like Pac did so much in his short time span. And even today, a lot of hip hop artists give he's the godfather of a lot of things that artists do.
Because like when he was 24 years old, but by the time he was 25, right? and he passed or whatever, he got shot. He had lived the life of a 50-year-old already. Like Tupac was spitting at the cops when he was like 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about this shit, man. Like he got that, like the time when he got shot and he passed, that wasn't the first time he got shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had got shot before, and that was a big story in hip hop.
A flick in the middle finger with 6
spitting at the cops.
Yeah, like cursing out the judge, telling the judge, "Listen, lock me up, man, because you don't like nobody like me." Like what? Like he did so much in his short period of time, and people acknowledge that. People know where he comes from. He has timeless music. Man, Dear Mama.
Jail for? What do you go to jail for?
Which one?
That's what I'm saying.
Think
about it. He was under 25, fam. Like Tupac has like the best, not the best life ever, but like if you talk about people that passed on like 25 and younger, I can't name many people that had the life of Tupac. You know, like Big didn't even have the life that Tupac was in like 2 blockbuster movies by the time he was 25.
Yes,
like,
ready to be
acting, like we ain't talking about him acting or nothing. Like he was I don't know, his life was different. Like he's a legend because of who he was, not just because he died.
Yeah, and I get
like we don't talk about Big L like we talk about them other niggas.
And I get what
I'm not trying to diss Big L, but he wasn't Big or Tupac. Let's just say that. He died young too and had multiple projects. Like it's not the same.
And I get what Roland is saying. He's saying I'm talking about them, I'm talking about y'all as fans. You know,
I get that too.
We was there. So and we see the impact that Biggie and Tupac is having on today's culture.
Right.
So still today. Like nothing has really changed. Now, maybe because they did it all. You get what I'm saying? Like they said it was Tupac who told Biggie, you got to talk ladies. That's not saying that LL wasn't doing it, but when you take Thug Life and you take Passion for the Women, you created a monster that it's the most marketable monster of all time. Right. Like LL wasn't a thug rapper for the girls, he was a ladies man rapper for the girls. But like I said, you take a guy off the streets, you see the impact, fam. They're women, married women, still talking about I had Tupac first. It's telling you something, fam.
Yo, Tupac was fucking Madonna, fam. Like he has the best bio. Think about what the stuff that he accomplished between the ages of 15 and 25. Just those 10 years. When you talk about the Jada Pinkett years when he was a teenager, like he has a story for every phase of his life, even though he was 25 years old.
And to keep it a stack, we was going to talk about Juice today, one of the most iconic movies in from our era, from the hood. Man, Bishop is like everything this guy did. Yeah, still.
We still the meme of him and Q in the elevator.
Yeah.
We still talk about Tupac and Juice in 2022.
But to another 90s legend, I'm going to tell you why I think Nas is going to win back-to-back Grammys.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I completely disagree. Give it to me. I'm not, and I'm disagreeing, not saying that he shouldn't. I'm saying he ain't.
If I'm the Grammys, first off, I gotta have a hip hop category, or you guys want to kill me. If I'm the Grammys,
that's the only reason they doing it, man. Let's just throw them this bone.
But think about it. Almost every year, some African American is saying "fuck the Grammys" or pissing in it. No respect. No respect. No respect.
Or pissing in it.
Or pissing in it. You know that's what they do.
Or pissing in it. Yeah. Right. Because multiple people pissed in the Grammys, though. That's why it's like, why y'all keep pissing in the Grammys, man? Like, I understand you can just say I don't respect them niggas. We don't gotta know you pissed in it, fam. I'm sorry. Like that doesn't shock us anymore. Like
Drake drinking wine out of it. Like they showing no respect.
It's like when fans be burning niggas' jerseys. We don't give a fuck.
Like you pay wild bread just to burn it. Like, bro, what do you even
like? You did all that work to get that Grammy just to piss in it,
fam? Exactly.
like, come on, give me a break, man. Like, I get it, but yeah, it's overkill now.
I'm watching how excited and Nas was when they won their first Grammy. Right? You don't really get that type of excitement. Like, you don't really get. That's like when 3 6 Mafia won the Oscar. It was hype. Remember when they won it?
Right.
And I forgot the guy hosting. He said, "That's how you act when you win an Oscar." But people are so cool when they win these awards because it's just like, "Oh, I'm entitled," or "Fuck these Oscars. I don't give a fuck."
Right.
3 6 Mafia went on stage and act like yo, they never. That's the type of energy that they want. And that to say this, Nas and Hit Boy got a new song video out, and I think it's the 4016 building or whatever they got. He talking about the projects. They got the Grammy in their video. They got the Grammy in their rap, and Nas is rap. I'm saying, if I'm
that's fire.
The media and I'm watching this, I can see the appreciation from. We don't usually get appreciation.
Yo, nah, don't do that, yo.
I see the appreciation.
The why you think?
If I'm the Grammys, if I'm Grammy,
you got to give it to him because he repping the squad like that. That's why. How many times
Kanye West disrespected the Grammys? I'm just saying why.
Win, by the way.
Well,
Donda's gonna win Album of the Year, fam.
I don't think it should. I think Donda's a great musical. I don't think it's hip hop. It's the hip hop word that's throwing me off, I guess. To me,
it's still hip hop. Hey, did you listen to the whole thing? Right. So right. That's what I'm saying. That's why you don't think. That's why you don't think it should win.
I know it's good.
No, you don't. If you haven't listened to it,
I think musical. I don't think.
I hate you so much, fam. This shit is a musical now. Yo, it's not Dreamgirls, fam. Don't call it no fucking musical. Yo, you gonna get me hot. Don't do that, fam. It's not a musical though. Don't do that. That's disrespectful as hell.
I think
it's like a gospel trap musical.
He's got a lot of good stuff on that thing.
I hate you, man. Why you call Donda a musical, fam?
Donda's a musical, fam. I mean, it's a lot of music. It's a lot of musical. It's a lot of.
It's not fair. It is a lot of musical. It's not a musical, fam.
And to me, King's Disease 2. It's the word hip hop.
You cannot drop a project in the same year better than the shit that you got nominated for and win. I'm sorry. Magic was better than King's Disease 2. He should not win for Album of the Year. No way.
Yeah, Magic came out in December and the votes is already in.
I don't care. I don't care because I'm thinking like if you drop 2 projects and I nominate the one that's not, I don't want to say worse because it's not a bad project. It was dope. Magic was better. I'm not giving him Grammy for an album that wasn't his best project in that year. That makes no sense to me.
2 things.
And I know the cutoffs and all that stuff. I'm just saying, I'm not doing it. I can't do that. I don't know.
2 things. If I'm the Grammys, the song that I just talked on Magic, so it doesn't count, but it's still a look for the Grammys because we want the Grammys. I don't know that Magic is a separate album. I'm not paying attention to Nas like that. I just know that he made it.
Talk realistic now. You know they know that's a fucking separate album, yo. They have to.
I don't know. We don't know who's on the board. We don't know who's. We don't know. We don't know these people. No.
He said, yo, Mike said that's because I'm a Nas hater. I just said that Magic was better. How am I a Nas hater? Magic was better than King's Disease 2. Magic was better than King's Disease. Fam, Magic was better than King's Disease 1 and 2. I love Magic. Magic
is better. Magic is his 3rd best. What are you talking about?
Ever. That's what I'm saying. I'm no Nas hater. That's just how much I love that particular Nas project. There's no way in hell I'm giving Nas Album of the Year for King's Disease 2 if he dropped Magic in the same year, fam. It's like more responsibility. I can't do it. Like I can't do that.
If Nas dropped Magic after it was written, boy, we haven't.
It's a different conversation. Like his whole takeover wouldn't even happen.
JayZ would have had nothing to say.
JayZ wouldn't have made it. Because if he would, how much that changes everything. Yeah, takeover doesn't happen if Magic comes out after it was written. But that's
Hey,
just me though.
Mike, where do you rank Magic at between KD1 and KD2? Rank them KD1, KD2, and Magic. Because he says Magic is dope, but KD2 is better than KD1. Cool, but where do you rank Magic out of all of them at?
So
But yeah,
that
if I'm the
case,
Grand,
so that's the case. He if he thinks KD2 is better than Magic, then yeah, we just disagree about that because that KD2 isn't better than Magic to me. Magic, he was just rhyming over dope beats, and this shit didn't have no direction and was better than KD2.
and that's what, but that's kind of like what people fell in love with. Now, Matic was him rapping his heart out over some hooks that was like a DJ mixing them in, like no, like you know what I'm saying, like whose world
then
is
he got the
rap?
then he got the storytelling, and it was written. He started
It
telling
was written
stories, and it
so
was
far,
written.
man.
That's what I'm
Was
saying. So
written
now,
nuts.
right. So I guess you can if you want to, you can compare like it was written to one of the King's Disease 1 or 2, just because of the storytelling vibe to it. But Magic will be his. It was his Illmatic though.
So let me ask you this question, right? It was written came out in '96. Magic comes out in 2021. We talking 06.
5
We
years.
talking about over 20. We talking about over 20 something years, right? For you to put out dope body of work 20 plus years later, what does that say to you though? Say you still got it, or like, damn, what took you so long? What side are you on? What took you so long? Like, damn, you can do that 25 years later?
Nah, I think to me, I guess it goes to what I always say about good rappers. I think good rappers, when it comes to their projects being good or bad, is always about the music. Nas can do this. Nas can rap his ass off on anything. Like when we talk about King's Disease 1, 2, and Magic, right? I'm saying Magic is the best because of the production and the songs. Like it's not because I thought Nas rap better on it, because he raps good on everything. Like it's Nas,
Right.
man. Like these people that we're talking about. Like say, okay, take Wayne for example. If you like Wayne, you know Wayne is a good lyricist, right? His songs or his album or projects, whether they're good or not, is because of the songs and the beats and stuff. It's not because Wayne fell off.
Yeah.
Nas is never going to fall off. He should be able to record Magic 10 years from now when he's almost 60.
I believe so.
It's the same with
Especially
JayZ.
yeah.
Same thing with JayZ. Same thing with Black Thought. Same thing with a lot of these rappers. They're not going to lose rapping. It'll never happen. Like it's not happening.
And that's I mean, shoot. I mean, we know some legends that we can go without. Like, bro, why do you rap like that? You get what I'm saying? Like, but then there's some artists who have a voice and a cadence that can last forever. Like Nas. Like, listen, I know the Nas and JayZ thing, but like Jarrell said, Black Thought, Common, right? Snoop,
Common would be able to rap like Common when he's 70 years old,
and it won't be like, yo, why you still sound like that? You get what I'm saying? Like, there's some artist that was from an era, and you listen to him rap, and you go, yo, bro, we don't say that no more. You can't say certain words no more. The beauty of what Nas does is he doesn't use a slang. You get what I'm saying? Like he doesn't have something. Like if Flavor Flav, if Public Enemy was to start rapping, right, make an album, you'll probably hear Flavor Flav on the ad-lib G, and you be like, yo, Flav, we're not doing that no more. Nas and Jay don't have that problem because they didn't have that ad-lib problem. Like Jay, like there was nothing from the mid 90s that they were saying that was 90s. Like when Biggie first came out, and I listened to some old music, right? Biggie would say peace to this and peace to that. By the time Ready to Die came out, there was no peace.
Yeah, it's different.
Change your slang because in the early 90s, peace to Red Alert, like we don't say that in 96, 97. You get what I'm saying? There's some artists who keep their slang that they can't break themselves from. And that's why they can't transition to tomorrow. Our favorite artists from the 90s and even on, some of them don't have that problem. Imagine if one of the legends came out right now and started talking about sucker MCs. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, I met the sucker MC. Whoa, time out.
Yo, that's funny as hell. It don't matter how big they are, too. Like if JayZ came out and his first line was about these sucker MCs, I'm like, hey, yo, Jay,
Hey, yo,
we ain't here for that, fam. Like you ain't starting to flow off like that, right? Like, no, that's nasty.
Like, bro, what are we doing? You cannot get MCs back. It's just what it is.
Right. Even the old heads don't rap old. Like Black Thought rap like that nigga still rap like he ain't from here. He still rap like an alien, man. Like they're never going to sound dated. Nas will never sound dated, fam. Nas is Nas. No matter how old he is, he's not going to sound like, I don't know, that he just got transplanted from the 80s.
Shout out to Mike, but I gotta speak on something real quick. I know Prodigy, aka Prodigy from Mobb Deep. Prodigy lost it, man. His bars got garbage in his later years.
You niggas fight. Now, you niggas fight. I'm gonna see. Hey, Mike, Mike, you want to invite on the show? I'll give you the link right now.
Hey, Mike,
Flaw about to fight you.
I know I don't speak about P that often.
Yo, why you got on the bass in your voice?
Yo, Mike, I know I don't speak about the P that often. The P. Let me tell you something, huh?
Let me tell you something, Dunn.
Tell you something, Dunn. Word life.
You about to get niggas hot in here, man. Niggas did call Big overrated, fam. That's strike two, Mike.
Big and P? You kidding me?
Big and P in the same episode.
In the same podcast?
Same podcast. Yo, this nigga wildin', fam.
God damn, Big and P, you kidding me? But
yo, how you shit on Biggie Smalls and Prodigy in the same hour?
First off, I'm gonna spin the block because we talked about P a little bit. Prodigy rivaled the Nas Escobar. You get what I'm saying? P was right at the Queensbridge, and until they said, Nas, what are you doing?
See,
because
now you got this nigga preaching about Queensbridge.
Man.
See, Mike, this is what you did, Mike. This is Mike. This is your fault, Mike. This nigga preaching on Queensbridge now. You know those his peoples. Like
niggas was in the hood like P is better than Nas. P is holding shit down. P was the first dude to like, yo, I'm coming for you. Not Nas. There's a lot. Listen, Nas had to rock. All right. And listen, I don't want to keep doing this because Nas my man, but that's like we're saying on Nas. I'm just saying.
Hey, you got niggas hot, man. Like you can't just be talking about niggas' favorites like that, man. Like,
what?
Man, he apologized. So he said, my bad, Flaw. I'm just talking about the reference on how niggas that can rap don't lose it.
You are correct, though. He didn't lose it, but when P at the end of his career, he got on some Illuminati. That's a fact. I don't listen to that P. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm be honest with you.
So you're saying Mike right, but just don't say it.
But there's a reason.
Okay.
We talked about this. We like ignorant rap, or he start going at he start talking about shit we don't care about. Be honest with you, bro. He start talking about Illuminati and the I don't care about that. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, you niggas got me crying, yo.
But that's like saying, but just like we said, if JayZ came out shit, we had to check him too. Like, yo, Jay, you lost it. Like, bro, don't want to hit. The verse could be fire, but if you start that shit off with sucker MCs, we got a problem.
And it's my perfect example to that. And when it comes to the music and stuff, if the music bad, it don't matter what you saying because that black man shit. I don't remember a single line JayZ said on that song. That's how garbage that beat and that song was.
That is a perfect example.
I don't. Right? Do you remember anything he said on that song?
I don't.
Because that's how bad it was, and it was a JayZ verse. Think about that.
But that's something I want to talk about, and I don't know if we really got time on this pod. And I don't know. I might want to wait till we got a full house, or we can talk about this now. I've said it, and we talked about this. We love ignorance. I'm not saying that the Black Man is a good song. He still tried to go. He still tried to pivot. What's the worst song out of all diseases and magic that people don't like? Right? Ultra Black.
Yeah, Ultra Black.
Ultra Black. I'm just saying when we try to go positive black power, those happen to be the songs we don't like.
Ultra Black, I don't like that song though. I'm not gonna lie. So that's why I can't even argue with you because I don't like that shit.
And I don't like it. I'm not saying that those are good records. I'm not. I'm just saying that for some reason, when the word black is inserted into a song, it is.
So how about this? Instead of putting it on the listener and the fans, put it on the artist to make better positive songs.
How good?
Why are y'all positive songs? Why y'all black men songs are trash? How about that?
What's the best positive black man song? Can it be done? Can it be done? We're
Self
artists.
destruction. We gotta go back to the 80s.
That's my point. We're artists at creating destruction.
Wait, hold on. I gotta think, man.
Yeah,
I gotta think.
What is the most fire positive?
Well, okay, but now see that's different though, because I could say stuff like when it comes to positivity, maybe on 444, JayZ had a couple songs that were positive. That they were dope. The whole Family Feud thing, that was a positive outlook on a song, but that's still not what you're talking about, though.
I definitely, because you was going to say that, I got to disagree. It was a good.
Yeah, that's not what you're talking about.
But a lot of people was just not saying that the album was bad, but it was people being nosy about him and Beyonce because that's the most. That's the most you're going to get out of. Listen, I was wrong.
Right? Yeah, like he was rapping positively, but it wasn't considered a positive song. I get what you're saying. Like,
think about this though, right? Your man Kendrick Lamar. I love myself. They didn't like that record, man. They thought he fell off at the Good Kid, Mad City.
Like that was crazy.
The Pimp a Butterfly is a classic now, and people claim they love it. Man, when that shit dropped, they was not.
They thought he was corny.
They thought it was corny.
They thought it was corny.
That's what I'm saying, fam.
And yo, I'm not gonna lie, that's not my favorite single from Kendrick. Because I ain't go front when I guess maybe it's the same thing with well, nah, because that wasn't I was thinking about like when Big dropped Hypnotized. It wasn't a positive song, but it was more poppy. You know what I'm saying? Like the songs that I told you that he don't like making. I didn't like Hypnotized when it first came out. That had to be a song that grew on me.
Big had a lot of violations with Hypnotized, fam. He was smiling. Like niggas to this day talk about that. Like, yo, what is he smiling for? What is he dancing for? Like
it was a weird song to me.
It was all around crazy for just the era of the Brooklyn MCs.
How you go from Ready to Die and the first single is Hypnotized though. Like that's how you could tell that was Diddy. Like that was a Puff thing.
I guess for me, even though I was real young, but we just gotta sometimes, and even with the Kendrick Lamar thing, right? When you drop a classic and Good Kid, Mad City isn't his first, but to some it's his first,
right?
But when you drop that first single gets so much attention, I shy away from it. I don't really judge because like I know where you coming from. What am I supposed to do to top anything that I just did? Hypnotized was safe to me. The direction Kendrick Lamar took, I'm not even gonna go into story mode. I'm not even gonna talk about my hood. I'm gonna talk about uplifting black people. Why?
I love myself. So you're saying that was safe?
It was safe.
Yeah.
Like, because people want the same thing. I don't know what Mike talking about. That's supposed to be an uplifting black.
Yeah, that was a positive song. Well, I guess he mean positive song. Period.
Well, he got this for that. JayZ had bars for that. What are we talking about? No, still didn't like it. What are we talking about? He got bars for it. What are we talking about? He got bars for it. He had a whole song written about him because he's a black girl lost.
That's like, funny as hell, man.
They gave him bars.
Black girl lost. Oh shit! Yeah, he did give him bars for that.
They gave him bars. I'm still waiting. Maybe we can figure this out next episode. What is the dopest positive black song?
Man, I'm not putting it on me, fam. It's dip niggas that can't make a good positive song about black men. They can't do it. Like I'm trying to really think though.
Yeah, we can't do it because I think that once again we create a beautiful picture out of ugly. We have to come from the ground. We have to come from a backstory. But as far as uplifting us, we can't do it, man. It
has to be a single too, not like because I'm sure there's some that that's in like B-sides and posse cuts and stuff like that. It could be positive and stuff like that. But I'm talking about like a hit like on the radio.
So Ultra Black, Black Man, I Love Myself.
This is America.
Oh shit.
You're Donald Glover on your ass, nigga. This is America.
That wasn't no. That wasn't uplifting
that's
black.
Not a part
that
of
was
it. No, it wasn't.
That was a lot of
that was just telling white people what to do.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Positive.
I guess
Self-discretion.
89.
It has to be one after that.
I mean, Public Enemy. Public
something like
Enemy.
that.
Does Public Enemy got one?
No,
They don't. They just got a Black Pete.
they got like revolutionary music. It's
Yeah,
not
they got
like
okay, right,
it's
right.
not the same as what we're talking about. Like
If,
that ultra black shit. Like I'm talking about in the lines of that. Like,
if self-destruction is all we got, we fucked up as a people.
and even that really might not be in that category either. Because it wasn't just talk about black men; it was just talk about violence all in general.
That don't count then. That was the West Coast trying to clean up their shit. That
No,
was
self
that gang
destruction
violence,
was
man. Bro. That was
self destruction was East Coast.
no. Hammer was in that. Oh yeah. That was who was in it? I
You
remember
talk
Hammer.
about something else. You talk about all in the same gang or some
Oh,
shit.
shit.
That bullshit. I bet you mixed those two up.
Oh,
Like self destruction had like Kane in it and shit.
I do remember
like,
self-destruction.
the Juice Crew and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see that's crazy how you even switched them. That's telling you really didn't give a fuck about.
I was watching Ninja Turtles in '89, man. Wasn't my era. What are we talking about?
Yeah, you're right.
I was watching cartoons, man. I was born in '83. Cut me some slack.
Yeah, you were 6 years old. You shouldn't have been listening to fucking self destruction.
And I remember being mad at hip hop for a long time because I was watching cartoons. My uncle would come over and say, "Rap City's me off." I didn't give a fuck. Like, fam, I'm watching Ninja Turtles right now, fam. I was mad.
Yeah, niggas thought self destruction was on the same. Hey, yo, Roller, you hear this young nigga, man? At least I knew that, right? You know what I'm saying?
Damn. I'm glad we brought that up because I really thought self-destruction was that shit, fam. We all in the same gang, self-destruction.
Nah, that's not the same song at all. Like, what MC Hammer was saying.
Yeah, MC Hammer was in self-destruction.
MC Hammer was in that shit. No, he wasn't, nigga. Like, you saw like JJ Fad and shit all in the same gang. I don't want to talk about it.
All right. Maybe we can have this answer for you next week. That's our homework because we can't think of nothing, fam.
I'm sure Mos Def got some out there. I'm just not thinking about it.
Nobody, but it's if most okay, maybe
but they still wouldn't be hits though. Like, that's
right,
the thing.
That's what I'm about to get to. If a Most Def has it, it's a Talib Kweli has it.
Yo,
if
his hit was
has it.
Yo, his hit was Miss Fat Booty.
You know what I mean?
Yo, we need to change something. Change something.
His biggest record is Miss Fat Booty.
Miss Fat Booty.
Yeah, 98% of his other music.
He killed that shit though. It was fire.
He did. Real quick though, did you listen to the Weeknd's album yet?
Yes.
You did.
Yes. It's not as whack as I thought it was. I really dug it. I really liked it. It's not as bad. It's not as good as Tory's though. And I'm just comparing them just because of the '80s mystique for it. But yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't whack. I liked it. I liked it better than the one before it.
Yeah.
And that was like the biggest album of the year. Like,
I know we talked about briefly last week about Tory Lanez putting out a better album than somebody he stole from.
yeah.
Which is a good joke. But I always gotta play devil's advocate. I always gotta come to the rescue of certain artists. Like if you're the Weeknd and you and Tory working at the same time and you don't really get an opportunity to hear what Tory doing, you really don't get an opportunity to create something better. Because Tory just threw this joint out there. And I think we the only two that actually talked about it. I don't hear nobody else.
Because Tory's
album.
But that's the Weeknd's fault because Tory's independent and he get to put out what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand your point, but just like I said before, I don't care about your shortcomings. Like that's the Weeknd. He got a major engine behind him. Like if my album is better than his, that's just telling you how good of an artist I am compared to him.
But what if I'm saying, okay, you stole my style?
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying. Like you made this album anyway. This album you made was better than your last joint. So regardless, like I don't know what ammunition you thought you had, but this ain't it. It's a different vibe. It's not as loud. It's not even like it's not as loud as any of his last few projects. Like this ain't Starboy. This ain't none of that.
Right.
I know we're in a different era to where we're not outside a lot, so we don't get to hear what cars are playing. We can't check the temperature of what people.
I don't know nobody talking about this album.
Nobody's talking about this project. But then
nobody really talked about Tory's either.
They did.
I knew some people personally, but I think that's just because of the space that Tory is in right now.
Yeah.
The Weeknd isn't in like a cancel culture space right now. Like he hasn't done anything negatively. like him not having a big push on this album speaks volumes compared to Tory. Like it's not the same. At least it
And
shouldn't be viewed the same. One is independent, one is a huge major star.
but I would think that in the era of this social media era, whether you're independent or not, those are two big names. And on both levels, independent and major, the people we follow at least. Because I'll
Yeah,
say,
but it's still different. One did like the Super Bowl, like, and one
yeah,
is Tory Lanez. Like
yeah,
it's a little different, man. When it comes to stardom, the fact that this nigga is independent, he doesn't have this half as stardom or money or capital as you do to make an album. The fact that he made a better '80s album than you, I don't know, just speaks good to Tory. That's all. I'm not trying to
yeah,
shit on the weekend. I have to big Tory up when it comes to that. It was
yeah,
fire.
yeah, no problem. But I was getting to was I think a few times on this podcast we were saying, man, nobody listening to Drake, ain't nobody whatever. And that just might be our circle, but it came out that Drake was the most listened to artist of the year, and I said, oh, okay. But you wouldn't know that though, because like I said, we not outside, we're not going to the clubs, we don't know who's playing what, we don't know what's really happening out there in the world, and it's hard to really get a pulse of what's hot and what's not out there if your immediate circle is not talking about it. Because keep it a buck, I knew not to listen to him, but I had a few people saying, "Oh, y'all done listen to that Drake already, right?" Ha ha. That might have just been a tweet or two, but guess what? Somewhere else, another group of followers, another group of pack of Twitter friends or social media friends, they can't stop playing Drake.
Right, they running this shit, man.
They run, yeah. So at the end of the day, I was just saying, like, if me and you don't hear it, like we're saying, we don't hear nobody talking about the weekend. He might be the biggest thing in Idaho right now.
Right. We get on Jay for saying shit like that all the time.
Yeah, because we come from an era though where we were able to check the temperature outside.
Right.
We don't go outside and we hear the cars. We know what you're listening to.
Right.
Or
I guess like you said, I don't know anybody that's listening to The Weeknd or talking about him, or like you said, cars. I don't hear it blasting in the street. I just don't hear it at all. But that doesn't, like you said, that does not mean that it's doing badly.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully one of his songs get picked up for a sports ad, because that's the only way we know who hot. Like,
right.
Playing that at the NBA halftime. Okay,
that's how I know Joe Budden still got clout in these streets. Pump It Up still playing in NBA, fam. I'm sorry. Joey still got him in these streets, fam.
Mm-hmm. Oh, shout out to my man Nas. The Fresh Prince of Belair show, the new drama series. That, and they got the Made You Look drink on there. Right. Like, that's how you know you want to be one of them artists that put out that song that you want to get put into a place. Remember, listen, Mama Said Knock You Out. Like, people don't talk about that as LL, one of his biggest records. But boy, you want
it's
one
everywhere.
of them, bruh. They can make an action movie tomorrow, and Mama Said
like dance movies. My Mama Said Knock You Out.
Mm-hmm. But did you get a chance to see that Belair?
Yeah, I saw it. I thought it was dope. I think it was I don't know. I had tweeted about it. I said it's like basically Power Book 7 or Power Book 9 or whatever. It kind of make it seem like I understand there's drama and everything. I just got to see how it is, because it's not supposed to be a comedy anymore.
Yeah, it's not a comedy.
So it's going to be hit or miss for me. I'm either going to hate it or I'm going to love it.
I'm glad you brought that up too, man, because we are being blessed right now with so much black drama. Honestly, not necessarily comedy. The Kayne series, watch it?
No.
Okay, the Kayne series just went off. The BMF series just went off. Power Book.
I'm waiting to. Yeah, I was just waiting for it to stop so I can binge it. But I'm definitely going to watch it.
When is it? We are on a roll right now. Think about it.
Right.
Kayne went off. Book 3. BMF just went off. Power Book 2 is on. The Tommy Show is following. Snowfall's coming on. Belair is coming on. Fam, we are in Black 7. So when you say you waiting for it to stop, fam, I ain't been this excited for black television in a while. I remember when Power went off, we had to wait a whole 10 months for some new shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, what we got? Sneak.
This is probably gonna be on another pod too, because we about to end soon, probably. I don't think we give 50 enough credit.
I do. What we talking about? That's why I say I don't know what Rick Ross is talking about. What are you talking about?
Like we're big fans of the shows, but I'm talking about just in general. what 50 has done with stars, like you got to think about, he got like 4 or 5 shows now,
Mm-hmm.
and he still had For Life that was on ABC, and it got picked up by somebody else.
That was my favorite show.
That's what I'm saying. Like what he's doing with television, like the transition from rap, hip hop to television, and he don't, he's producing all this stuff and having these all these ideas. We're not talking about it enough. This never happened before. He's actually doing something that never happened before.
That's why. That was one of the reasons I was like, Rick Ross is joking that 50 made allegedly $250,000 off a show. Bro, that's $250,000 off one idea. I got 5 more shows.
But
I got
even
5 other shows.
But for one, it doesn't sound like it's true. He sounds like he just pulled that number out of his ass. But that's just one show. He has 4 or 5 more, and some more in development. So, like, just saying anything negatively about it, it just proves that you're a hater. Like, nothing negative should be brought up for this. Like, this doesn't happen. And you think about it,
it's not like 50 Cent, director, whatever. I gave them the idea. My job is done.
Yep.
Oh, hey, you know what? I want some spin-off shows.
Okay, boom. He really created a universe.
Yeah, that's it.
He created a power universe, the Powerverse.
Same story.
That doesn't happen, man. Like,
got to get that man his flowers, fam. I'm gonna wait till Ant on here so I can have Ant give him his flowers too. Let's say
it's
this
the same thing. Think about SVU, right? Law and Order, all the branch. Oh, who's that? Dick Wolf.
Yeah, Dick Wolf.
Who's that? Yeah, that's Dick Wolf. All the shows that he produced and stuff. 50 is doing the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We have to give him credit for that, man.
Yep.
Like, especially since nobody else in hip hop has done it.
Well,
and haven't even thought about it like that.
That's
the
sad part. Well, no, they've tried it. Like all these guys that have gotten to their acting bag or their executive bag, they just haven't been able to pull it off.
No, but it's usually like movies. It's not TV though.
Well, but that's the thing. Remember, he did the movie shit, and everybody was laughing at him.
Right. So he failed with the movies just like everybody else did. So he said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna take it to cable television." Mm-hmm. Like he kept going with it.
Yep.
Most people just stop or just become like straight actors like Will Smith or LL or something like that. But why LL don't got no LL verse?
LL, like Will Smith is actually executive producing Belair, and he's got some executives under shows under his belt. Like he had some shows that he did, but it just wasn't like this. I get what you mean.
It's not like this because he was a movie star himself. Now he has to. I'm talking about taking a backseat role and having your own shit. Like he's producing stuff now, but he wasn't producing stuff all the time like that. All of those movies that he starred in, they weren't his. Like he just starred in them.
Now maybe he loved it that much, or maybe he didn't know that it was possible to do that. So when you're the first to really do it, so that's why we got to give Curtis Jackson that credit. Now, if his acting career took off, then maybe he would have been. But think about it. Normally, when your acting career is going bananas, you really don't got time for stuff.
Right.
Look at The Rock.
Denzel's saying he's directing more now because of that. Like,
guess what though? He ain't the man when it comes to the screen. You know what I'm saying? Like now, let me produce. Now, let me get my shit off. So yeah, maybe it's not possible to do both at the same time. But we love to. But we've yearned for that spot, right? Okay, we the actors now, cool. Oh, we the ball players, cool. When are we going to be the owners? When are we going to be, you know what I mean? Whatever, something else. Not
with this Belair thing, right? We haven't seen it yet, but just like I said, it looked like something like Power, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping that for having its own universe too, depending on how good the show is, obviously, and the characters and stuff. So if Will Smith does, I'm pretty sure that's Will Smith's, like, I think that's the end, not the end game for him, but I think that's where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's just going to be Belair and that's it. I think it's going to be, branched off just like Power. I can almost tell like the characters and stuff. Like I understand that they're the same characters from the show, but you could tell it's going to be completely different. The storylines are going to be way different than
I agree with you because I was just actually watching this show called Peacemaker on HBO Max, and the Peacemaker is a character from
Suicide Squad.
So there's a lot, and Disney and Marvel is doing it as well. Instead of just saying at the end of this movie, shows are branching off from the movies and they're creating and continuing the story. So it's if Will Smith if it works that way, because we haven't seen it, we don't know if these characters are going to hit.
Right.
In my mind, mind, I'm thinking Carlton might want his own show. I might be thinking about the original Carlton. What if this Carlton don't hit? Who's going to hit? Because at the end of the day, look at Power. How did the guy that started everything, James St. Patrick, he ain't got the show. So who would have thought that Kane would have his own? So I think it's too early to be like, Viv going to have her own show. I can see that.
Because when you look at it though, you see the dude they got playing Jeffrey. Why it look like Jeffrey was that nigga, yo?
Yeah, I seen Jeffrey and Uncle feel like, yo, this ain't no Uncle. And then it's going to be some emotional.
I'm about to say Jeffrey about to have his own spinoff, dog. Like we go out there get the adventures of Butler Jeffrey. In the past, like how he grow up and shit. Like how he got there, know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a prequel of Jeffrey. Jeffrey look like he that nigga now.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. Hey yo, damn, we been getting busy on this part. I survive hours, man. You ready to get off here, please?
Hey, yo, we gotta get off for you. Your bandwidth is gonna, that shit gonna conk out soon, man.
I think I'm gonna finally play Tory Lanez record and Hound.
The Badlands.
I was gonna play the game. I was gonna play the game in Kanye West, but I think I'm gonna get.
How about this? How about this? We only got 2. So we about to get off. Salute to everybody in the chat. You play the Tory Lanez joint. Play the whole song, and we'll play the whole. We'll play the whole song of that, and we'll play the whole game and Kanye, just because we talked about it so much. So if people didn't hear it, if you go to the audio, you'll be able to check those songs out. So salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to Mike, Roland, everybody that participated today. We'll holler at y'all. Peace.